Galactic Season 3 is here, so game on! We've pulled in Cal from Today in Tor to help talk about it. That and more on this episode of the SWTOR Escape podcast from newoverlords.com. Our broadcast astromech today is EPC 444. And with me, one of the people with me is my co-host, Seema. Hi, Seema. How's it going?
Hi, Max. So, yes, Galactic Season 3, but also this week, Total Galactic War, which
Yes.
kind of snuck up on us. Somebody noticed it last week, so we haven't done a lot of prep, but we are participating. We invaded on Onderon, and in honor of Total Galactic War, when we did our guild night on Tuesday night, our MFN, we went and rampaged on, I think, 11 planets. We just ran around rampaging, and we killed the first, so racked up a number of points doing that. And then, me personally, though, I've been spending my time, well, just playing the game, but also looking at the Galactic Seasons targets that I was likely to do, and they have basically been completed by now. So that was a quick week for me. But the last one was killing 2 bosses in R4, which we did tonight in our ops team.
Yes.
For which we got 15 game analysis modules, and then because of the target, and then we went and did a real quick story mode EV, which yielded another 12
Right.
game analysis modules.
And we're extra paranoid about the game analysis modules, which we'll talk
Yes,
about
we are.
more when we get to the segment about,
Yes.
I mean, even, which is ironic, even more than the points, which advances you through the season. The game analysis modules are for the rep, which is a separate thing. We'll talk about it. But yeah.
Yeah, so I've been working on that. I actually did something I don't do that much, which I went out this afternoon on a character, and I was farming for the game analysis
Yes.
modules, just to do some, like, see how it felt and all that stuff. And I took a Sork of mine who's level 75, and I went out to Tatooine where the bugs are. And you know that building where there's like a pub daily where you go inside that building, but around the building there's these like little pockets of geonosians, and they are mostly in little clumps.
Yeah.
So with my Sork, I would just go up and AoE down a group, and then go AoE down the next group, and AoE down the next group. And by the time you work your way all the way around the building, they've repopped. So that was like a nice chill thing to do, to spend some time. So I put on a XP boost, and I put on I bought the game analysis module boost from the little Jawa in the Cartel Bazaar. And as soon as I put it on, I got called away from my computer.
Ah,
So I went to go do something else. So I logged out, and when I came back, I only had 20 minutes left on it,
yeah.
because I didn't really clock that it continues to kick down
When you're
up
offline.
to count.
Right.
Yeah, when you're offline. But in that 20 minutes, I got like 23 game analysis modules. So it was a pretty good deal. I would, if you like, if you're going to watch a TV show, for instance, or something on Netflix, or listen to a book, or you just want to do something chill for a while, not a bad way to get badges. Probably not the best way, or tokens, or whatever. But it also did get, I would say, in about maybe an hour, because I was also chatting and it wasn't being super efficient during the first part of this and I hadn't even like clicked either of my boosts. But today, just doing that exercise, I did get like 1 level on her.
Yeah. And
So
we'll
a
talk
little bit
about
of
all the ways to do it, but that is pretty efficient, and that's more efficient than I was experiencing
I didn't
last
think it
season.
would be that great. So
Yeah.
I was pretty surprised. So yeah, and that's not really not all I've been doing. I did yeah, a bunch of other stuff. It obviously, because now I'm at 7 of 7 for the GS3 targets. So I did the all anyway. We can talk about that when we get to Galactic Seasons. But what I really want to say is we have with us today Cal from Today in Tor, who has a really cool blog called Today in Tor, as well as a YouTube channel called Today in Tor. And if you've hung out in our New Overlords Discord at all, you've seen some very valuable tips that he's posted there. So I'm very happy he's here. So Cal, welcome, and how are you doing this week?
Thanks. I'm doing pretty good out of game and in game. been grinding galactic seasons across multiple servers,
Ooh.
having fun, trying not to go too hard too early.
Yeah, we'll talk about doing it on multiple servers too. What servers are you doing it? How many servers are you doing it on?
This season, I'll probably do less. I went pretty hard during season 1 and 2. Right now on Starforge and Satil, I'm about in the level 20s right now.
Okay.
And on the other 3, I'm only going to do 1 or 2 objectives a week and hopefully get there by the end.
Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, because you can get the rewards per legacy, and one of the rewards you're getting per legacy, and, this will come up, but is cartel coins. So there's potential for getting 5 sets of those, which is kind of interesting. Um, awesome. Yeah, really glad to have you here. Really great content. And if anyone's not familiar, look up todayintour.wordpress.com and at todayintour on Twitter. Great videos, which I really like too, and you've got a good style. It's fun to listen to. So thanks for joining us, and we'll talk more about Galactic Seasons in a second. What I have been doing this week is mostly focused on Galactic Season Total Galactic War. We do want to try to win this planet. I added, let's see, I focused on the highest point values I could get. I already got 6 characters to their conquest target, couple 100,000 on my main character. Let's see what I'm up to here on my main 252,000 on my main character. I started a level 9 alt that I added to the guild last week. So this week I could just be leveling it up for fun. And that character is now up to like level 18 or something. And you get conquest points for every level and every 5 levels, and then doing all of the things you might be doing along the way, like throwing a little GSF that also gets you levels. And it's a really solid way to put on a lot of conquest points. So in addition to getting a bunch of my main characters to conquest target the level 80s so that I can get the rewards for those, I've got a couple alts that are at level 10 that were prepared for this. And we talked to our guild. Everybody's sort of set up for that to do 1 or 2 if we're trying to get a bunch of points on the board, which we are so far and seem to be doing good as Seema suggested. We are at 17 million on Onderon, but we're not sure if the board is updating correctly because the guilds, the 2nd, 3rd, 4th place guilds, their point totals don't seem to be going up, even though they have a couple people online. They don't have many people online, so maybe it's fine, but we're afraid that there's some bug in the board and it's not showing what the actual point totals, and somebody's suddenly going to be nipping at our heels, even though they only have 3 million right now. So we're going to keep an eye on that. And then I've also been doing, as you suggested, a whole bunch of the season, but I'll save that till we get to the segment, because we'll talk about the different ways you might approach it, the different ways you could go into it, and the objectives you could go after, and then tips and tricks for which objectives you might want to get done and how to get them done. So what we can also, though, talk about is the news.
Now, an Imperial News Network report.
So first up in the news, the new game launcher is still out there, and there's a couple bugs that are getting sort of worked out. If you're having any issues with it, check those threads. There are people putting notes up there saying, "Yeah, I'm still having a couple problems." They've put together a workaround post that tells you a bunch of the details for what you might want to make sure your setup is set to be able to work with the new game launcher, like antivirus exclusions and exceptions. They've got some tips on that. Make sure you're not, the new patcher, the new updater isn't getting blocked by your antivirus. If there are any other issues with like the old Bitrater installations, they've got some notes on that. So check that out if you've got any issues. If you are angry that there's, I saw a post or 2 on this of, as you start, even if you start in Steam, they've got the notices page that comes up when you first start the launcher, right? Hey, notices. And one of the notices that's been up for the past week, it's only been like a week, but one of the notices that's been up has been, hey, there's the new launcher for the non-Steam client. just let us know if you have any issues. So that alert has been up there, and people are like going out of their way to create threads and posts about, why am I seeing this alert? I run on Steam and I shouldn't. This annoys. It's just a news item. It's just an alert. I play No Man's Sky, and they just launched on the Switch, and that alert is all over the place. And I'm not going, why are they showing me this? I only play on the PC. Don't even tell me that
I
you're on
mean,
Switch.
I'm
So come
laughing
on.
because I find it kind of annoying because I log in and they'll put like whatever the news of the day is first, and then they put the launcher note, and then they say the above doesn't affect Steam people, and I'm like, well, all of the above or
Yeah.
just
Okay. I
the one
mean,
thing
maybe
above?
it's not.
But I mean, not enough to go post
Maybe there's
about
a
it.
there's a
I say
there's a
I see your post, yeah.
yeah. So maybe there's a point there, but that wouldn't be the first thing that I would be spending my time making posts about. So okay. So if you don't care about the launcher at all, then I guess click out of that, and hopefully they'll get rid of the alert soon. If you are working on the launcher and have any issues, check those threads. What else is going on, Seema?
So we did have a patch today on Thursday, so on the 28th this morning, with a couple of fixes in it. I think some things that people have been waiting for, and one like really
Excited
welcome
about.
change. What?
And excited about, yeah.
Oh, okay. One change, I'll skip right to the bottom, is for the Galactic Seasons 3 target luck of the draw, where you have to click on the cheaters while they're acting suspicious.
Yes.
They've reduced the number of times that you have to actually catch them doing that from 20 down to 10, which is a huge reduction. And they've reduced the respawn time of the gamblers. I don't know what they've reused it to, because this target isn't in. Well, I could actually. They're in there even though we don't have a target. Like you can
Right.
actually, I did it just now because apparently I'm some kind of a narc, but you can
Oh, you
arrest
can
these.
even arrest
Yeah,
them?
you can have them arrested even though there's no target or anything. You just
Oh, do
do
you
it
have to
for
have
fun.
Fey out? Because mine didn't even get the extra action bar.
Yeah, I guess you
Oh.
do have to have Faye out. Yeah.
Interesting. Because,
Um,
here's a couple gamblers.
yeah.
Let's
So
bust them. Bust them, Seema.
before it was taking about 5 minutes for them to spawn. So if you wanted to do all 20, that was a lot of waiting around. So people didn't like that, which I can totally see. Also, there was some confusion about one of the initial quests. A different quest. It's not the same thing as this target, where you had to go to 3 locations with Faye and find terminals, but people were waiting at the wrong thing, so they were complaining that it was taking too long for them to respawn. But it was the wrong thing. It's a terminal, and they're in different place. It's like a little pad that you click on, and like one place is behind the bar, and one place is on the back of a sofa, and
Yeah.
one in the Aldron one, it's behind the building. So it's different places. So that's the Galactic Seasons 3 part. They also made a change to Lady Dominique and the R4 operation. It looks like
I think it was bugged temporarily. I don't know if it was a new
was
bug
like,
or a temporary bug, but it was a group wipe that was happening.
yeah, and they
And
tried to
nobody
fix that.
and that no people were not getting through that. So that's going to be fixed as of tomorrow morning too.
And I like the next one where they mention that they fix Ajunta Paul's mask so that it's now on the character's face, because it makes me wonder where it was showing up
On their butt.
before.
I don't know.
Right. Max is so dependable.
I mean, showing on the character's face versus not showing on the character's face.
Oh,
I think
is that what
is
it
the
is? Oh,
answer.
thank you
Not
for
showing
explaining that.
somewhere
Okay.
else, like on their pants, on their butt.
And a really big thing that happened on like day 1 was the whole Shogera's outfit button being checked by default, which made everyone naked in their outfitters, so that it seemed like your outfits had all disappeared. So they've
Yeah.
switched that, they've toggled that, so it's not the default when you log in
Right.
for the first time.
Right. That confused me, and I had to ask in Discord. I'm like, why are all the outfits? And it had actually come up, and Sten had written up twice in Discord
Right.
in the past 24 hours. And I had read it, but I still ignored it and posted. I penned a strongly worded letter. It is broken.
So it was it was basically a bug fix thing, but
Yeah.
hopefully that Lady Dominique thing does what it needed to do.
Yeah, that was the key one. That was blocking people from getting Lady Dominique done, which, yeah, glad to have that one fixed. As of tomorrow morning. Hopefully it will be fixed. Let's say that. Guild and community news. Yeah, as we said, we're in the middle of a Total Galactic War week. If you are still hearing this, you can't jump in because you can't participate in a conquest during the week it's happening for any guild. You have to have joined the previous week. So unfortunately, but definitely jump in with us if you'd like to get in on those in the future. Oh, I'm gonna bust this guy acting suspicious. Get him, droid. I like how they have like a shock collar and handcuffs when they get
Right.
busted.
Right.
He got escorted off.
No trial. Just.
And I get nothing for it. Just the satisfaction of catching a cheater.
Right.
Because I'm the man and keeping him down. Anyway, our guild is having a good time with Total Galactic War. We give it a shot. We aren't, we don't go into it thinking, oh, we're definitely going to win every planet that we go after. In fact, it's going to get harder and harder for us because we're going to be finding planets that we're going to be limited to planets that either we
That we
have
haven't done
already
before.
conquered. So we're trying to find
Right.
planets that we haven't conquered, and it's going to be fewer and fewer, and we're going to be going up against bigger and bigger guilds. I'm sure that we're going to be running into a wall pretty soon, but we're looking pretty good this week. I'm hoping we're going to have a good time. Regardless, it's fun because everybody gets together, everybody jumps in, everybody logs in, everybody adds characters and plays a lot during the week. So it's fun weeks to do it. Shout out to the Discord. Shout out to our chat room that are live with us right now. It's Thursday nights, 10:30 p.m. Central. We usually do it live. Really great to have people in there on the pre-show. We chat up and talk about what we've got going on, and a little bit after the show as well. And it's a good group of people. Really help us out and answer questions and give us tips and make us seem like we know what we're talking about, because we often do not. I don't know if you knew that about us, but we don't. And certainly thank you to Cal, who's been in there so much lately, and that's there and in the guild in our New Overlords Discord. Cal was posting a bunch of notes in there about Galactic Seasons, and Seema and I said, hey, Cal, this is amazing, and you do great content of your own. You're well-versed and an expert in this kind of broadcasting anyway. Why don't you come on and join us? So really appreciate that, Cal.
Yes. Thank you for coming.
And with that, let's get into talking about some of this gambling season.
How can you close me up? On what ground?
I'm shocked to find that gambling is going on in here.
You're winning, sir.
Oh, thank you very much. Everybody out at once.
Everybody out at once. You're winning, sir. Shocked
Thank you.
to find gambling going on in here. Yeah. So the season is on. We're going to go through the full rundown. We just mentioned that the season was starting last week. In fact, let me bring up the season interface. If you're looking for the season interface, number one, the little bar in the upper left that shows the daily login rewards, that's the Galactic Season pane. This is the third Galactic season. It operates relatively the same as the previous seasons. In fact, very, very similar, I'd say, to last season. There's 100 levels. You need points to go up each level. There's 8 points to get to each level. There's 2 sort of tracks. There's a free and a subscriber track. And you can go through and you can play it completely free. You won't get the rewards that are sort of like on this lower shelf, the subscriber rewards, but you'll get a bunch of rewards. There's no buy-in. This is not like a battle pass that you have to pay for in any way. Everybody can do it. Everybody can play it. And if you're a subscriber, especially, and relatively casually, you can get everything possible within the whole Galactic season. That's sort of the way it works. So same thing. Also the same in previous years. You could buy out the complete season as well. It's about 10,000 cartel coins, and you would buy the whole season and unlock it. And you could do that day one and get all of the rewards deposited into your account. And as we go through the rewards, you'll notice that 2,000 cartel coins is one of the rewards. So it's, the balance is you're ending up with like only paying 8,000 cartel coins. Still relatively expensive. I wouldn't recommend it, but you could do that. As the season progresses, another way to catch up in levels is later in the season, earlier levels will be available for catch up by paying credits. If you wait until the very end and want to pay credits, the estimate is something probably around a couple billion credits that you would have to pay to unlock all 100 levels with credits. And you can't do it yet. You have to wait until that catch up starts, but that's a way to do it too. So 2 tracks, 100 levels, and we're going to walk through how to do it. And Cal is an expert in the companion specifically, which is Faye. So maybe that's where we'll start. What you need to do to kick off the season is you need to do any of the objectives, and you can find those by hitting L and looking on your Conquest tab and the Season Objectives sub tab in there. Do one objective, just do any one thing, or do the daily thing. Yeah, or do even the daily thing. No, wait, how much is the daily thing? You have to get one objective, one level done in the Galactic Season to unlock the companion, which is Phalanx. Once that unlocks, then more things happen. And that's sort of where things start. So get level 1 done, get the Fae companion, do her alert. And these are some of the bug fixes we were talking about. The main story of her alert, so not spoiler, but the main story of her alert has you go and seek out some data that's clickable objects in 4 different locations. It might be behind the bar, it might be behind a chair, it might be behind the building for one of them. So it should be relatively obvious. If there's a bunch of people standing around, it may need to respawn, but I had no problem finding them. If you think it's taking forever, you're probably looking in the wrong place. So that's how you start, and then you have Fae, and that unlocks some other things as well. And we'll go through some of the rewards by the end as well. But tell us about Fae, Cal. What's your thoughts on Fae, and what do we need to think about and worry about, and what's she fun for?
First one, think about and worry about. Not much to worry about. I think the only problem right now that many people have listed on the forums is when you start her alert, all of your other companions disappear until you complete the quest. So that's really the only worry, which I guess is a little oversight. But aside from that, she's a decent companion. I enjoyed her story very much. It was a bit tongue-in-cheek. It had a bit of a meta storyline relating to other things. So if you'd played SWTOR in the last several years, you would know about Fenzale, you might know about, I believe, Gaborga the Hutt, and she has just these little like Easter egg nuggets through her story that relate to these kind of activities that have happened in the game over the past few years.
Yep. Yeah. In fact, if you have Fenzale out as your companion when you first talk to Phalanx and find her on Nar Shaddaa, there's a little bit of an interaction there because they've crossed paths, or at least the syndicate things that they deal with have crossed paths. So I haven't seen that, but I know it happens. So that's interesting. Yeah, Phalanx. I like her. Yeah. Do you like her as a companion? Do you think she's a good one? Yeah.
I mean, it really depends in what capacity you like companions. I mean, you can get her to 50 like
Yeah.
any other permanent companion. She stays around, which is always great. I've seen a lot of people go, oh, when the season ends, when will I lose her? And you don't, which is always good.
Yeah. Permanent.
Because as long as you are a free-to-play player, you can grab her.
Yes.
Which is probably one of the best parts of the season pass that this game's had through all 3 of them so far. I do like her story. I believe her companion skills are a bit close to, say, like Talos Drellic. So if you like using those pistol companions that play at a range but also can run up close and shotgun, she's just the same as all the rest. And aside from that, I've had a good time. I've done all their story. I boosted her day 1 to level 50 using a
Okay.
compendium.
Okay.
And I just gave her a test and she was a lot of fun.
That's interesting, and I've thought of doing that too, just because you will want her out for some of these objectives that we're going to talk about. But it be the key way to increase the influence of the companion, and it worked the same way for the who we call Chad Bane or the Fenzale companion, but for Chad is as the season progresses and as you get up ranks, there are gifts that you get in across the 100 levels of the season. Giving those gifts to Faye will get her to rank 50, and then at level 99 of the season, you get 2 special compendiums that only work on Faye that you can give to alts and get their Fays to 50. Beyond that, the regular companion compendiums also work. So if you've got more than 3 characters that you're going to get Faye on anyway, you might as well just use a compendium. And you're planning on getting them to 50. Might as well use a compendium on them. The
I
companion.
mean, that's what I've done. I've
Did you?
gotten 3 Fays so far, and I just used the regular compendium that you buy.
Yeah.
But that's a good reminder to me to leave at least 2 characters.
Or 3, because you'll get the 2 gifts and then the 2 compendiums. The gifts to 50 and 2 compendiums. So you got enough to get 3.
And also, I need to put them somewhere where I won't, lose them.
Right, exactly. And we'll talk about that in a second too. But yeah, so that's a key to Faye. You could level out up to 50 influence for free, but it will be late in the season before that actually happens. So you could do it with the compendiums. You buy those on the fleet if you want to get them. They cost 4 dark projects and something like 4 million credits or something like that. So they're not cheap, but in today's day and age, that is kind of cheap when what OEMs and RPMs are going for 200 million credits right now, which is ridiculous. I
Close to 3 at this point.
I can't understand that, because that would put, you need 10 of those to create a single gold augment. So that would put those at 2 to 3 billion credits for a single gold augment. Who are these people? I don't know. Anyway, so that's Faye.
I am one of those people.
Are you paying 3 billion an augment?
Oh no, I'm one of the crazy people that farms for them.
Yes. That I do, and I've sold some of them. Although I don't. I just keep them all now, because once you have all the credits, once you're in the Tres Comas Club, and I guess unless you want to buy things, I have enough credits to hit the limit on a character. So I have over 4 billion. I kind of stopped. I just kind of got tired of accumulating credits. There's other people out there with, I got probably on their way to 1 trillion.
Yeah, for sure. Because people are.
It's a thing.
Someone's buying this stuff for
right, and that's a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
Um,
that is a game to play.
So let's talk about other things that you'll do with Faye, which get us to the objectives. What you want to do with your objectives when you start the week is go to your Conquest tab, hit L, go to the Conquest tab. There's the 2 sub tabs on the Conquest tab. There's the Conquest objectives and the season objectives. Of the season objectives, let's see, I've got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 season objectives. 1 is a daily that you can repeat every day, which is super simple. Earn 25,000 personal conquest points across your legacy, doing anything of any conquest objectives whatsoever. That's a daily. You only get 2 season points and 2 game modules, but it's a daily.
Yeah.
Super
hard not to hit that one.
Yes. If you play it all, you're going to end up hitting it. Then there are a random sampling, and it changes from week to week, of other objectives. There's 9 of them, and you get to 9 or 10 of those, and you get to pick 7. Yeah, there's 10 of them, and you only get to do 7. Once you get the 7th one done, you can't do any more. So there's also 2 different types of the sub objectives. There are the ones that reward 8 season points and 10 game analysis modules. And then there are slightly harder ones, a subset, that award 10 or 12 season points and 15 game analysis modules. So if you want to get ahead a little bit or you're looking to optimize, you're going to want to look at which of those targets award 12 the 12 season points and the 15 game analysis modules and maybe prioritize those. And this gets you into a weird position, which is what I've been getting into the last couple of weeks, is be careful not to complete too many of the 8-point ones because it might lock you out of being able to finish one of the 12-point ones that you're working on. So like this week, CZ 198, great objective, easy to do, very quick. It's an 8-point season objective. I had to make sure I did not do CZ 198 so that I could finish up the other 12-point ones that I was going after. Now, really, it doesn't matter. Maybe you would finish Galactic Seasons a week early. Maybe you would get the rep done a week early. It's not that big a deal unless you're crazy like we are.
Right. Or no, unless that is important to you, right? Like it could be important to you
Unless
which
that's
case
the game
it's
you want to play.
important.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Unless that's the way you want to have fun with it.
Or maybe you're going
Which
on
I do.
sabbatical and you're going to miss the last 4 weeks of the.
Right. Or maybe you're down to the wire and you're trying to get the last bit of rep and you're trying to get as much of those game modules as you can. And why would we be trying to finish the rep within the season, Seema?
Because we do not want to repeat what we did last season, which I dragged my feet really because I played myself because I was using the tokens very sparingly because I wanted to save the rep for Conquest.
Yes.
Not realizing that I was going to miss out on an achievement by not completing the rep during the term of the season. So I don't want to do that this time. So I'm very careful to make sure I get all the rep done within the season.
Yeah. So we'll get back to some of these objectives and some tips and tricks on them, but there is reputation or achievements that you're getting, and there's one meta achievement which gets you a special reward, and this happened last season as well. And yeah, we screwed it up. We didn't realize that the meta achievement required finishing the rep to legendary within the season, and the legendary rep, the reputation that you're getting caps at 5K per week, but you still have to get to legendary, which means there's about 14 or 15 or 16 weeks that it takes to get you to legendary rep. We didn't realize that until there were fewer than 16 weeks left in this season.
And to be clear, it was in the description that Bioware provided, and it was in the guide that, Zamzam's guide on MMO bits. I mean, it was known.
We just
didn't
weren't
know
paying
it.
attention. And we did, we weren't paying attention enough, and we sort of, slacked off to the point where
Thought I was being so smart.
Yeah. Where does I can't find it in my is it locations, Galactic Seasons? Where's the
achievements? Legacy tab number 1, then Galactic Seasons.
Achievements.
And it should be 0% because all the achievements are worth 0 points.
Galactic Seasons. There we go. Okay. Yeah. So it's this one right here. Take the house, which is authority on the subject. Let it ride 2, let it ride 3, 4, 5. Season 3 objective master. That's get to 100. And not only get to 100, but do 100 objectives. So you can't just buy your way out of it. To get to rank to get to level 100 in the season, you also have to have done 100 objectives, and those are the weekly objectives, and get legendary rep, legendary rank rep, and then you get, which is this, you get the Phalanx special gold with little jewels hanging off of her companion customization, which is kind of cool. It's not all that different than what she looks like right now, but it's still, we messed up and we didn't get the Chad Bane one that makes him look like Cad Bane, except for the hat. And that's what we lost out on last season. So Cal, did you get it last season? Did you do it right? You probably did it right.
I did it on 2 servers on purpose and 1 server by accident.
Yeah, there we go. So
yeah. This is where my method falls right to the ground.
but it was also because we played ourselves, as Seema said. One of the things that we like to do for Conquest is a very easy Conquest objective is to turn in a rep token once a day and get 49,000 conquest objective points. So one of the things we were thinking was, we're just going to stretch this out. We're going to save it. We're going to be turning in these rep tokens for the next year, because now I'll have this big pile of rep tokens. I'll just turn in one a day. I'll be getting 49,000 conquest points. I'm super cool. I know what I'm doing. And then, yeah, we played ourselves because that locked us out of that objective. So we're not doing it this time. We're going to be, we got it. We got a handle on it. One other tip. Here's, so pro tips on that reputation. It's 5,000 reputation points per week. That means 5,000 is, as soon as you hit 5,000, you cannot turn any more rep tokens in. There are 4 rep tokens. There's one that's about 40 points. And then the highest one is about 1,000 rep points. And it varies between what kind of rep bonuses you have running. If you're in a guild that has the maximum reputation bonus, you'll be getting about 1,000. If you don't, you might be only getting 800. If you're not a subscriber, you might be only getting 600. But what you can do, and I've got a spreadsheet which helps me figure this out, is you can get to like as close as you can to 4,999, and then turn in one of the purple rep tokens that you turn in game modules to get from Faye. I'll tell you how to do that in just a second, but and get closer to around 6,000 reputation per week if you do it that way. Stack all your bonuses. There's an item you're getting from daily login rewards, which is a stack of charges, which gets you even extra reputation bonus every time you turn in one of those rep tokens. I've got a character set aside which has those special. So I'm getting I'm trying to game it out where I'm getting about 6,000 reputation per week on that turn in, because I get about 4,990 and turn in one of the purple ones. The game analysis modules, G.A.M.E. analysis module that we keep talking about, those are the currency you use to turn into Faye to get the rep tokens. After you get Faye unlocked as a companion, she's on your ship. She's on your class ship. Go on your class ship, find her. She's in a different place on each of the ships. When you talk to her, it's the same kind of conversation you were having with the rep turn in person for the Syndicate on Nar Shaddaa. She will allow you to trade game analysis modules for reputation tokens. And those are the things then you can have in your inventory and turn them in willy-nilly whenever you want.
That is kind of an interesting change from the time before, that you have to have her in order to turn in the tokens.
Yeah, and that's only one thing you have to have her for, but that's one of them.
Right.
I like it. I like her. I like being able to talk to her. I also like that everything she says is a gambling or gaming pun of some kind. You ask her, "Hey, can I ask you a question?" She says, "Hit me." And then she said, the odds are stacked against that. If you
Overwhelming odds, yeah.
So everything she says is some sort of little example of that.
Reference.
Ready for another spin? I'm clicking on her now. And although here she is, she's talking about Godoba, the Shadow Syndicate. They're all like, they all underestimate me. Maybe next time they'll estimate me. She didn't say that. Yeah. So you've got to have her in order to be able to turn those in. Now let's get back to completing some of those objectives, and we'll each go around here in just a second and talk about what our favorite ones are so far. But one of them that we were talking about in that they're fixing is these gamblers here. You have to have her out if you want to be catching these gamblers. Did I get him? Oh, he was acting suspicious and the cast bar went away. This extra action button won't show up unless Faye is out as your companion. And then the extra action button shows up, and this is when you can catch the gamblers.
And you have to be in the range of one of those machines too.
Within 10 meters of the gambler and the slot machine that they're working on. And the slot machines in various cantinas all around the galaxy. Oh, I caught another one. This objective is only periodic. It is not every week. This showed up last week, but not this week. So if it shows back up again, it'll be after the fix that's coming tomorrow, which will make it much easier to complete it, but it's only an 8-point objective anyway. Did you guys both finish this one last week, right?
Yeah, I did.
I would
But
imagine.
Yeah, I
then
did too.
I did it while I was doing laundry and other little various things.
So where
And
was
because I was in a spot that there wasn't a lot of competition or any competition, it didn't matter. I would come back several minutes later and the gambler would be there. But since there was nobody else there but me,
yeah,
I didn't have to worry. Yeah.
and what was that spot? There's a pro tip.
Oh, well, that was the Corellia Cantina that's in the spaceport there, so it's really easy to
Sure.
get to. But I don't know why I thought of that one as a one to go, and it just lucked out that it was a good location for me that week.
We are here broadcasting live from the Zakul Cantina, which is where I got mine done. I just hung out. I left a character here, logged in periodically, logged out. If there was somebody there, I just ignored it. If there was not, I just kept my character logged in and clicked on a gambler every once in a while. Quick and easy. I didn't really have much trouble getting it done. Cal, do you have a favorite place to get this one done, or did you bounce around? Because that's another technique too.
Oh yeah, I bounced around pretty hard, planet to planet to planet. I wanted to get it done quick.
Yep. Oh, acting suspicious. Boom.
Even if you are
Got him.
quick, it does take about half an hour. So I
Yeah,
think it's one
I
of
would
those
think.
objectives that
You
if
have to
you're a
ask yourself if
busybody,
it's, yeah.
if you're busy in real life, if you've got stuff to do, or even if you don't have stuff to do, if you're not doing anything but want the game open, it's a much better task for those kind of players. But if you're an active player in the game and you want it to be jumping around objectives, it's probably better to skip it for something else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Let's talk about some of those other objectives then. What were like we'll start with you, Seema. What was your favorite of the season objectives that you would want to do when it pops up that you like? Besides
Well,
just like the daily, which is a no-brainer. That's like a gimme
I
freebie.
well, since you brought up the daily, I tend to do the ones that kind of get done anyway.
Yep.
Like this one, for instance, Wild Space Daily Sweep, which requires you to do CZ-198 twice. I was thinking about Conquest and I was thinking about leveling and stuff like that, and I did CZ-198 on 2 different characters. Not really thinking about it, but that completed that. And then I did actively keep my Fae companion out, which completed True Purpose, which is you have to defeat a certain number of enemies across the galaxy, which I think is, it doesn't say once you've completed, but I think it's a low number, like 100.
Yep. 100.
I did kind of have this one in mind as I was running around the galaxy, which is the one where you have to affect enemies with destructible pipes, tanks, canisters. I kind of like that one because when I'm
I like that
if
one.
if I'm not influenced into doing it, I usually don't click on those things.
Right.
So it is kind of fun to click on them and either freeze the mobs that are around them, or get frustrated because they're not close enough and you miss them, or you blow them away with a big knockback.
Yeah.
And from the beginning, I wanted to make sure we did this R4 one. So if there's any ones that are operations, I really love those too, for sure.
Sure. How about you, Cal? Any favorites so far the first couple of weeks?
Yeah, there's something that I really liked. I like the R4 Anomaly one that we had this week.
Yep.
And I generally really like playing the Flashpoint ones because they're quite quick and easy. Because I do enjoy playing a stealther, so I can breeze through them a lot faster than other people.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But in total, I know it's very different from how other people play, but I go for efficiency and quickness, where Seema says she goes through the ones that she would do through her normal gameplay. So
Right.
I pop open the list at the start of every Tuesday, a few minutes after reset, and I go, what's worth the most points? And I just smash those out really quick, server to server to server. And then I look at the low value point ones, and I go, oh, what of those can I do quickest?
Got it.
So of the high value ones, or like let's take the flashpoints. Like when you stealth through a flashpoint, what are your flashpoints that are the favorite, like target ones to do that with? Like last week we had 2 choices of groups of flashpoints.
Yeah,
And
that's a great question. So there's flashpoints that I like playing, and there's flashpoints that are fast.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I have some really favorite flashpoints like Elom. I like Hammer Station. I like Red Reaper. I like Kaon Under Siege. They're all my favorite flashpoints of all time in the game. But they're not always the best. They're not always the fastest, so I don't do them. So when I'm looking at, say, in a flashpoint objective, so for example, this week we have Legacies of the Force, which is Depths of Manan, Assault on Tython, Korriban Incursion, Secrets of the Enclave. You get some points for just playing any, some points for playing those ones, some points for the bonus boss. And I look at that and I go, efficiency.
Right.
And I go, how can I earn the most points the quickest so I can get it done and go to the next server?
Yep.
And so what I'll do is in this list is, okay, well, all of them have bonus bosses, but only one of those has a bonus boss that's not in master mode, which is Secrets of the Enclave. The
Right.
bonus boss is also in story mode. So I'll do Secrets of the Enclave story mode on a stealther, boss to boss to boss, whack it out, and it's done.
Yep.
Yes.
It's exactly what I did as well. And last week it was Red Reaper.
No,
Yes.
I did Directive 7 last week, but it was the same thing.
Oh no, it was Red Reaper for something else. It was
Yeah, we did, yeah.
that was Directive 7, which you could do the
But I did
bonus
the same
boss
thing.
and
I
story
stealth
mode.
through, but I didn't do that till like Saturday or Sunday.
I believe we had 2 separate Flashpoint objectives
Yes.
last week.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. So one I think had Directive 7, Mando Raiders, Kadamimu, Spirit of Vengeance.
Yeah.
And I think the other one had like the Revan ones like Maelstrom, Taral, Foundry,
Yeah,
Boarding
Foundry.
Party.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And on that one, the Revan one, I did Boarding Party because that is under 10 minutes solo in story mode
Yeah,
per
I
run.
messed that one up.
And I did that one twice. And then on the other one, the Underworld one, I did Spirit of Vengeance because that's the only one in the list that has the bonus boss in story mode.
I did Maelstrom Prison because that does have a bonus boss in story mode. However, something was broken. I did the bonus boss and didn't get credit.
Yes, I think that's been a problem or an on and off problem that gets bugged and patched in season 1.
Yeah.
I think it just might have to do with how the game actually tracks what constitutes a successful boss kill or not to reward you those points.
Yeah. This week I also did, as you said, Secrets of the Enclave. I did it on a stealther. I'm not a good stealther. I don't main stealth. In fact, I had to do an extra one. We did it for game modules too. You get game modules at the end of Flashpoint, just a couple. But we did Red Reaper, and I kept stealthing badly and aggroing
And I mean,
mobs. And Seema's an expert
to be
stealther.
clear, he says stealthing badly, but he like shoots mobs.
Yeah, well, I don't know what I did. I broke
And
stealth
then
twice and aggroed a bunch of stuff. I didn't know what I was doing.
And look, sometimes you see
the
the
funny-
red nameplates and you
yeah,
just
that's
gotta
right.
do it.
That's right.
This
Itchy trigger finger.
this time I tried to be a good stealther and I did Secrets of the Enclave. The problem there is there's only like half a dozen of the ad packs that you can stealth by. Everything else is like triggered by location. You go into combat even
Yeah.
if you're in stealth.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
boy, they kept doing that to me. I'm like, I'm finally trying to be a stealther, and it's just like everything has like stealth detection or triggers based on location. It's like, oh, come on, guys. But
That's
I
when you
did it.
wish you hadn't been on your stealther because that might not
Right,
be your
'cause I-
favorite class to do combat with.
And I would have been done faster not stealthing. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Because I could have I could blown everything away with my merc. But yeah, I focus on. I'm only doing it on one server. I always focus on the 12-point objectives, the 12-point with the 15 game modules, because I'm trying to max the rep. I'm all been out of shape over making sure I don't mess up the rep again this season. So I always look at the bigger points, the 12-point reps. There's 4 of those, so I always do those. This week it was PvP, GSF medals. So it's PvP complete matches, GSF medals, and these vary. No, it was PvP medals also. So decorated combatant is earn 8 medals in a single match. Is wait, earn Warzone medals, 1 point per medal, earn additional progress for becoming highly decorated by earning 8 medals in a single match, and I think it was like a total of 20 medals or something like that. I can do that in 2 matches. That one I can just blow out, no problem, every time. The one that was more difficult, even though I'm quite accomplished at GSF and I have mastered ships, is the GSF one where you need to get medals because they are captured, defensive, and damage medals only. So not all of the medals count. And you need to get 25 medals. So if you have like, like a deathmatch GSF match that gets done really quickly, the maximum medals some people might have might only be 3 or 4 medals, and not all of those may count. So you might only be getting 1 or 2 medals in one of those matches, even if like you destroyed the other team and you won, and you get you'll get some damage medals there, but it can be frustrating. The best there for the GSF one is to play defensive, like get on a bomber, get a repair droid, park yourself under a satellite, capture the satellite because you get points for capturing the satellite, and then you get defensive points. You stay there, you'll get 2, 3 defensive medals, and you'll get medals for the healing that your repair droid, your repair drone will do. That's a great way to go about that. If you do it a bunch of damage, you might get some damage medals as well. It's random which style of GSF match you get though, so that's a little bit of a problem. But this also then gets to the point. So I go after those 12-point ones. I like GSF in general. What was the other? Oh, I guess the Flashpoint ones are always 12-point ones as well. So I did the Flashpoint one. I had to wait till our Ops Night to do R4, which is the fourth 12-point one, which I was excited to do, and we got it done, and it was great. It was cool. I was happy to do it, even with a couple subs that had never been in them before. Had a good night. However, this put me in a weird situation because I was trying to get all 4 of the 12-point ones done, and I needed to wait until our Ops Night to do the last of the 12-point ones. I had to be careful. I was only at 5 of 7 until tonight, but I had to like make sure I put Faye away so I did not complete True Purpose. I had to make sure I didn't do CZ-198 this week. Like I got a little worried because I defeated core world enemies. You have to complete 8 missions and defeat 100 enemies or whatever it was. I defeated all the enemies, so I had all this progress. And I was like, oh crap, am I going to accidentally complete that one? So it got me in this weird position where I was trying to make sure I was not doing objectives, which I didn't like. But again, I'm trying to optimize, and it's not really that big a deal. I could have just done them and sacrificed the R4 one, but watch out for that. If you're trying to do what I'm doing, you might have to watch out. It might put you into this weird position where you got to like back off and be careful not to complete an objective. But yeah, so as we said, I just want to point out, because we mentioned it, like True Purpose, you have to have phalanx out to complete it. The gambling, the game integrity of the game, where you have to catch these gamblers, you have to have Faye out to complete it. There's a few of these where you have to have Faye out to complete them. The other place you have to have Faye out is if you're looking for the random drops for game analysis modules. Why don't you talk about that, Seema? Because we both scienced it a little bit, but you had some really good success. Or you mentioned it again.
I did mention it. Yeah. I actually did for about a half an hour without the boost too, and I think I got 3, maybe 4 doing that. And I'm my way of testing is not very sciencey, so I was actually also chatting quite a bit in guild chat while I was doing that, so also wasn't that focused. But I did keep track of the like total number. So I think for me anyway, it's all about finding the right location where the mobs are easy to get to. They can fall under your AoE easily. I mean, the Geonosians, they're not melee. Most of them shoot at you, but they're just close together anyway, so you can AoE them.
That's
Geonosians.
There's you have to have Fey out for one.
Yeah.
And if you want to use that bonus item you get from the Jawa in the Cartel Bazaar, you still have to have Fey out. So what I did is I went and bought that bonus item, and I didn't realize you had to have Fey out. In fact, it doesn't say anywhere you have to have Fey out to get game analysis module. So I bought the bonus item from the Jawa. I went and killed about 250 mobs across 3 or 4 different planets, just completing rampages for conquest points for a half hour, and got zero game analysis modules. So then I tried to science it up a little bit. I went to kill Black Sun because I didn't know, was it either you have to kill like syndicate mobs, and the answer to that is no, but you do have to have Fey out. I broke my science because I changed 2 variables, so I wasn't sure which did. SEMA solved it and said, no, it's just having Fey out. Finding a good place where you can kill tons of mobs, which do drop loot, so you can't like go to Calicoid war games because they don't drop loot. But kill mobs that drop loot with Fey out, that you can kill very quickly, and that respawn quickly enough that if you're doing a circuit in location, you're getting them done. So Starry Saber saying, didn't find that boost worthwhile to purchase it in Season 2. I did not find it worthwhile until a month ago when the season was over and you couldn't get syndicate plans from the conquest objectives anymore. And the only way you could get them was for the plans randomly dropping. And I was getting tired of not getting enough plans per week. So I went and you could only get them off of syndicate gangsters. I definitely used it. I used it like 3 times. So it was 3 hours of grinding to get the rest of my syndicate plans for that. Shouldn't be a problem. Now that we all know, doing conquest objectives each week is the best way to get your plans, to turn into Fey, to get your rep tokens.
To do Galactic Seasons targets.
Yeah, sorry, Galactic Seasons targets. To do your Galactic Seasons weekly objectives. Each of the weekly objectives gives you either 10 or 15 of the game analysis modules that you turn in for reputation. That's the right way to do it. If you run out, like if the season's over, you might resort to grinding on mobs with that Jawa boost and Fey out to get the rest. Okay. So I think that is most of our tips there. Fun stuff. Crank through the season, and as we always said, there's multiple ways. You could probably hear about the ways that we're doing it. Cal is doing it on multiple servers. I'm sort of trying to do it hardcore just on one server, and SEMA's playing the game. We're all going to get it done. Cal will get it done in multiple places, and that's kind of cool. Why?
So,
oh, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say,
do rewards
all in all, it seems, aside from just the theme of it and maybe the rewards that have to do with Fey, it's very similar to Galactic Seasons 2.
Yeah. The rewards are also similar. It's different. I mean, they're Fey themed.
Yeah.
But the rewards are similar as well. So let's run through the rewards as our last thing here. Let's start with was there anything in those rewards that you're really excited about this season? Cal, maybe we'll start with you. Was there something you were like, oh yeah, I got to get that thing, and that's what I'm most looking forward to, or out of the rewards list?
Out of the whole total rewards list, I really liked the armor sets. There's a little bit of a Fallout vibe, a little bit of a Top Gun vibe of those armor sets, and generally the fact that this pass now has some ultimate cartel packs. Like, I passed my first one at level 18 and I pulled out a platinum lightsaber.
Wow.
So that's pretty lucky.
Yeah.
That is pretty lucky. I will not. I will get brown dyes out of every cartel pack that I tried to
brown
open.
pink dyes.
I'm sure. It's funny you said for that sort of like that Fallout look on the armor set. It is kind of that. And I'm putting it up on the screen. It is kind of cool. Pretty interesting looking. And there's 2 armor sets that you could get. So there's the 2 armor sets. There's um, the decos. I always like the decos. There's about a dozen different weapons, including dual. Like here's the Zerka Special Blaster. Kind of a blocky blaster, but it's got a nice little animated effect coming out of the end. It's big. I don't like the tiny tiny blasters. But yeah, there's like a dozen different weapons. There's 2 armor sets. There's 2 mounts. I did like the amount. So level 1, if you're a subscriber, the second thing you get on the subscriber track for level 1 is the Vicious Rodeer mount, which I thought was kind of cool. It looks kind of like a tigery, lionish kind of saber-tooth tiger with scaled lizard legs on it, some sort of chimera thing, which I thought was pretty cool. I like the decos, and in fact, there's the pit boss decos, which are NPCs that you can put in your strongholds. I always like those.
Yeah.
And then yeah, cartel, and then there's the extra stuff. There's like cartel coins and Iocathra, like some crafting mats and the cartel packs, which you could open up and get some random stuff out of that are really cool. Conquest commendations. How about you, Seema? Anything that really excited you out of this list, or that you
Well,
were?
I mean, I have a question for you guys. It's like, what's your method for even getting these rewards? Like, I have no idea where the various pieces of armor are from last season, or even if I got them, because I left them in the mail like Max did for ages, and I think the mail expired. So I don't know. It's kind of taking the blush off the rewards stuff for me, but
Yeah,
the fact that the armor comes in like dribs and drabs, I'm sure Cal, you must have a way of like you're probably super organized about and always claim them on the same character and
yeah. Where
know
do you
where
put
everything
them?
is. But I, I just, and it's the same with the login rewards. They just kind of pile up.
I always put those on one character, the login rewards. But yeah, where do you put? How do you collect and organize all these rewards that we're getting?
Yeah, Seema hit the nail on the head with that assumption. Um, like my gameplay, I compartmentalize my inventory. The easiest one to get out of the way first is login rewards, the standard calendar. Every 28 days you get something new. So what I do for that is I wait to get the elegant chest of loyalty at the end. I don't claim a thing. So I wait for that last 28-day thing, and then I hit that claim all button,
Mm-hmm.
and all 28 rewards are put into one item in my inventory,
Yep,
a
one
storage
box.
box, and that does not spam up your inventory with everything.
I did not know that.
Yep.
Yep.
And the other one for the galactic seasons, what I do is obviously level 1, I claim that immediately
Right.
on my first character, so I'll get my main character, the one that has all the companions, all
Yeah.
10,000 of them.
Right.
I pop open the box, I use the mount, and then I do the quest, and I go, okay, this character has Fae, no story at level 0. And that is the character that I will always log in to claim any level that has a companion gift. And
Okay.
then I immediately log out once I claim, I jump on a second character, I collections unlock the companion, and then that's the one that I boost to 50 so that I can experience everything day one because I have a massive fear of missing out
Yes.
Yeah.
for
Me
many
too.
things in this game. And for everything else in the pass, unless it has a companion gift related to that level, I really just let it sit for a long time until I start getting up in the 90s. The only reason that I got the cartel pack at level I think 18 was when I went, oh, I want to open it. I want to open it right now. I can't wait. I just want to see if I get something amazing or something that I can take a screenshot and laugh at with my friends. Like either way, I'm not somebody that buys packs from the cartel market ever because I don't want to slide down that slope. But yeah, I was like, oh, you know
Right.
what? This is a free one. I can't lose. I can only win no matter what I get. It'll either be great or funny.
Interesting.
You know what? I think I'm definitely going to do that with login rewards because I just didn't have any method at all with the login rewards and tend to just leave them forever. And I like your approach for that, for
I have
sure.
I have a character set aside that gets the login rewards and doesn't necessarily wait till the last day, but does get them a week or 2 weeks at a time, and they all collect into a single box, and I've got them. Yeah,
I
that's a
didn't
great way
know
to
that
do it.
about them collecting into a single box. That is kind of good to know.
The thing you need to watch out for, and this is what Seema and I have potentially run into, and I was just looking for my support ticket. I'm not sure what they're going to do about it, but uh, I waited till the very end of the season. I only got I pulled a couple things out. I waited till the very end of the season, and after the season ends, everything from that season will get sent to one of your characters, usually the first character you're logging in with after the season starts. It gets sent to you in mail. And I thought, great. Okay, now they're all collected up in mail. There's like six emails with full of attachments. I didn't realize because I've never had a system mail from BioWare from the game ever expire before. These ones expire. So I was just gonna like leave them in there forever. I've got characters in there with hundreds of mails. I told this story. That's not the way to do it. Season 1, I had an alt set aside. I waited to the end of the season. I had a bank tab that I blocked out, and I collected all of the awards. So I had the armor sets, the decos you can just put into your collection, put the armor sets and the weapons in there, and any of the other packs or anything I didn't want to deal with at that point. Took up about half a bank tab, and just put them in there. I will probably start that sooner this round, or as Cal, as you suggested, wait till I get up into the 90s and just make sure I don't miss out like I and screw it up like I did last time. All right. All right. Any final tips and tricks before we wrap up here for the evening?
Or any kind of thoughts, really.
Do the pass on your own. Just because someone like me is going for level 100 super quick, super fast.
Yeah.
Don't rush. Take your time. If you can only do 2 or 3 objectives a week, you'll get there by the
Yeah.
end. Um,
That's a really good point.
Main thing is just don't misplace or lose your rewards. I've done that. I'm pretty sure everyone's done that at some point. You've gone, oh, I want to unlock the armor set. Where did I leave the boots? And you log in
Right.
through 30 characters looking for the boots.
Oh, I know.
But yeah,
And the thing is, I lose energy after about 15 characters. I go, well, I don't really care now.
Right.
And so I never actually look at all 30 characters.
Yeah. On the unlocks, there's one other point. We're not sure if it's a permanent change or temporary. They didn't mean to, but the legacy unlock cost this galactic season is higher for the things that end up in collections. Faye, for example, it was much cheaper to unlock Fenzil on all of your alts. It's more expensive to unlock Faye for your legacy for all of your alts this season. So we'll have to see if that holds true with all of the armor sets and the weapons as well. If it does, well, you're going to be spending some more coins. You do get 2,000 coins out of the season, though. So if you're a subscriber, maybe it'll balance out. So we'll have to see. But yeah, great advice. Do it at your own pace. That's been Seema's approach. Or do it at your own pace. Either that's do it casually and play the game, and you'll most likely get it done, or do it really fast because that's fun, or put together a spreadsheet because you like doing that. Whatever's most fun for you doing it, but
Right.
realize
And if you
it's very well designed to be able to
if you
spread out.
do it at your own speed and you don't get it done, then you still have the option, if you wish you could get it done, to pay it from that point out.
Yep. You can pay with little cartel coins at the end and catch up. You can pay with some credits at the end and catch up. It's well designed that way. It's one of the least predatory Game Pass, Battle Pass type systems I've seen in video games. So enjoy it. All right. With that, our EPC 444 droid is ready to get kicked out on airlock to broadcast this episode to everyone out there. Cal, thank you for joining us.
Yes,
really
it's
great,
great having you.
thanks for having me.
Yeah, where can people find you? Where should people catch up with you?
Yeah, just chuck Today in Touring Google. You'll probably find me. You can probably best find me. I post once a week to the official game subreddit. I post fairly often on Twitter. I've got all the stuff, so I've got my own fan site. You can go chuck a look. If there's anything, I've probably written something on it. I do have a Twitch account. I don't stream myself, or I have like once or twice as like for fun, but I'm usually around some of the big popular people's Twitch streams in chat, just talking to people such as the lovely New Overlords Escape podcast or SWTOR or anyone else.
Excellent.
How do you decide what to post in Reddit versus what to write about on your blog? Or is the Reddit post pointing to stuff you've written on your blog?
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. That is actually a great question, and I could answer it in several hours. But
Aha,
the
okay.
the short one, I could give you like the little 30 seconds, is when I first started, everything was just about kind of sharing something in SWTOR that used to be known that people don't know or don't talk about anymore. Things that people share in the community that don't go well beyond their own circles. So it's something that everyone discovers on their own. And it's really just about chronicling that in a very easy format to put online. So you can see the skinny version, which is in all like the image macros I do, or you can get the full depth version that is attached on my fan site. And I post the bigger ones or the ones that I deem more important, even if they're not popular. If it's something that's more important that people should know about right now, I'll chuck it on Reddit.
Mm-hmm.
I'll boost that on Twitter, whatever.
Ah, well,
Yes.
everyone knows I don't post to Reddit anymore because we do this podcast. We put a bunch of pre-work into it, and we record it, and I edit it up, and I spend hours crafting this interesting things for the community, and it'll get like one upvote on Reddit. Whereas I can, take a crayon and sketch a picture of somebody's butt, and that'll get 100 upvotes on Reddit. So I can't compete with crayon drawings of butts. So I don't do it.
Plus, they took our post down one week because they
Yeah.
said our episode wasn't enough about
Yeah.
the game.
SWTOR Escape podcast comparing what we see in the game to one of the movies that came out.
I think it was Mandalorian or something.
Yeah. But crayon drawings of butts. Yes. You can find what we post, though, and everything that we put out into the social networks on newoverlords.com. That's the best place to go and get it, which will also lead you to YouTube/newoverlords. You can come chat with us in our Discord, which is newoverlords.com/Discord. That's our regular Discord where we've got people like Cal that are trading notes with us back and forth. You can also get to our Behind the Games podcast through those locations. If you want alerts on Twitter, you can follow me at Max the Gray or at our channel handle, which is The New Overlords, and we'll keep you up to date there too. For the Iacta Est Guild, our guild, AIE Guild information, we're on Starforge, and we play tons of games, bunch of stuff going on right now in a lot of games because it's that time of the year with holiday events. There's a bunch of Halloween events going on. You can check out all of that stuff at aie-guild.org, and there's a Discord link for that in the upper right. We're all on Discord all the time. Jump in there, jump in the SWTOR channel, Starforge. We have guilds on the Republic and the Imperial side. We do stuff like Total Galactic War. We do stuff like our every Tuesday night mandatory fun night. We can get you an invite. We'd love to have you. And with that, we will talk to you soon.
Later, everyone.